I'll not take any more time. I'm going to quickly go through Eila's profile. So Eila Qureshi is a marketing and operations expert, and she's a co-founder of a company called Deep Marketing. Now, there's a very interesting story behind the company. So I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to let Eila explain the company and what she does. But it's a very interesting company. And the other co-founder is a pretty known, famous person, right? So I'm going to let her do that job. And she has got years of experience in helping edtech startups and coaches, and consultants and others create and fix funnels and boost conversion. And she has learned a lot, running this particular company and also helping a lot of her clients, create the funnels and, create the conversion funnels and run those campaigns. And she's going to share with us all the learnings that she has. Okay. So she's going to share her AI-powered strategies that turn traffic into qualified lead. Okay. Then the whole industry of traffic to lead has been there since forever. But in last couple of years, things has been disrupted thanks to AI a lot. Things are moving very fast, and we are all trying to catch up. And I believe with Eila coming in, she's going to shed some more light into this whole, his whole gamut of marketing and operations and funnel marketing, which is going on. So I'll give it to you, Eila. Please take over. Just talk a little bit about yourself before you start, and then we'll chat more. Over to you.
Thank you. Hey everyone, pretty excited to meet you all. All big people are here, so I'm feeling a bit intimidated. Don't mind if I fumble when I'm speaking. Okay. So anyway, thank you so much. That was a very generous introduction. To be very honest, I don't see myself the way you introduced me. So thank you so much for that ego boost. So guys, I come with around 9 years of experience, specifically working in education domain. And as Ritesh said, that my most of the work has been into systems and systems and process development, and then by extension of what work I used to do in education marketing as well. So to give you a bit more insight over how my experience has panned out, so I have worked with brands like Growth School, My Captain, and now Digital Deepak. All of these companies are into education. These are edtech companies, and as I said, edtech. So whatever I'm going to share is more customized to the edtech scenario where you are getting leads, and let's say you have a high ticket product where you want to go ahead and sell that. So that's the entire process that I'm going to encapsulate. Another thing for the people who came later on, my background is in the sense that I have just started the deep marketing agency. So the solutions that I'm going to present to you are built in a sense that they are cost efficient. And I have found a lot of workarounds around different tools like enrichment, like you have Apollo and all. Of course, if you have access to these tools, the way that you guys are working very well. But let's say if you don't have, then what are the workarounds that you can do is exactly what I'm going to present. So let me just quickly share my screen. Cool, you guys are able to see my screen?
Yes, go ahead.
Awesome. Great. So welcome to how to automate your leads, your lead generation funnel with AI. The idea of this particular funnel is in this particular webinar, you're going to understand how you can generate leads using Google search and not directly go into LinkedIn. Then how you can fetch their information via LinkedIn. And then with AI-based logic, how can you do lead qualification for them? This entire setup or workflow is built on NA10. And of course, I'm going to show you the entire workflow in action as well. So the way that I want to go forward with this is, if you have any questions, I would request you to go ahead and drop it in the chat section, and Ritesh and I can have a conversation over it. And once the entire flow is over, once I show you everything, then we will open up for a Q&A where you can ask me questions directly, just to make sure that whatever I want to tell you gets delivered in the time that we have, and then we can have conversations around it. Cool. So it's a 3-step automation system that I have built, which is first, we'll go ahead and scrape Google for the leads, for the keywords that you are basically searching for, specifically focused on LinkedIn profiles. Once you go ahead and get these LinkedIn URLs, the second workflow will go and scroll their LinkedIn to get the information that we require to go ahead and sell our services. Once that is done, the third tool will take that as an input, and based on what your company's USP or where your company's what can I say, working, or what your criterias are for lead selection, based on that it will assign a lead score value for you, and also give you a summary of why exactly this lead fit for you, this lead fits you. And then that is a bonus section. I'll also show you one workflow or one tool, agent specifically, which will provide you a customized report on your lead, with which you can understand what are their pain points, how you can position your service as the answer to their pain point, what are the common objections that can come from this lead, and how you are going to handle them, and how to actually, based on this particular report, then you can work on customized marketing plans, be it email campaigns, be it cold outreach, and the sales call, whatever you want to do. It can be a very good value add. Now, pretty simple, like all of us know what's the reason to use AI. It's a no-brainer for me to tell you that how AI can help you, or how AI and automation can help you. Of course, the speed is amazing. Today, if I manually have to do it, I will definitely take 3 to 5 minutes per lead. But with AI, in 3 to 5 minutes, you can get 100 plus leads. Research is extremely important. When a human does it, it can be of bias. We can miss some very crucial data points. But this particular workflow does that, and it does it with its company website, the LinkedIn URL of the person. So you get a very holistic understanding of who the person is you are talking to, and second, what are the main problems, or what are the main ways these companies are operating. So very, very important. Accuracy, scalability, a lot of these things, right? Cost is something that a lot of people that are in the webinar are operating at a very high level. So maybe cost is something that I will not be able to help you directly with. But today, when I am operating, I am getting leads for a very, very cheap amount, considering the tools that I have invested in it. Cool. So let me just go ahead and show you the 3-step process. I told you, scrape Google for LinkedIn profile, enrich LinkedIn profiles to get firmographic, and qualify leads with AI using your ICP logic. Now, let me just quickly show you how the workflow looks like. So again, as I said, that this is something that I have developed on NA10. If you have not checked out that platform, go ahead. Very, very nice platform to build workflows. Relevance AI, very easy platform to build tools, and a few other tools that I'll go ahead and share it with you. Now, let me, for the sake of this particular webinar, I created a duplicate workflow to just show you.
Eila, I'm going to stop you here. Eila, am I audible? I'm sorry. Yes. For everybody who is new to what Relevance AI and NA10 is, can you explain these tools to them, for people who are not aware of these tools?
Sure. Yeah. So these tools are basically the tools which will help you to build these automations, these workflows, or AI agent. NA10 is one of the tools where workflow, the way that you're seeing right now, really makes it simplifies, because it's a drag and drop, and you don't have to do a lot of logic. Of course, you have to do some coding around it, which again, use ChatGPT to do it. That's how I have done it. I am not a coder. I have never written single line of code, but I was able to get this entire workflow working for myself. So NA10 builds amazing workflow. Relevance AI is same. It helps you build workflows, agents, and tools. But the reason why I prefer Relevance AI for building tools is because of the UI of Relevance AI. It's if you have used Zapier, you know that all you can do is drag and drop, and that's enough to build in Zapier. You don't have to do a lot of logic. Same goes for Relevance AI when it comes to building tool. So let me just show you. These are tools. This is the Relevance AI dashboard. All you have to do is just explain what the tools want to do, and the Relevance AI will build the primary blueprint for you. So it has become extremely easy to do these things by yourself. All you need is some time and some curiosity to figure this out. So these are NA10 and Relevance AI tool, and whatever tools that I'm going to share, if you need a bit more understanding of it, I'm happy to go ahead and share it with you. Now, For the purpose of this particular webinar, I created a simple sheet because it takes, again, when I'm speaking and all, it will take some time for enrichment. That's why I've not taken a lot of data points to go ahead and enrich with. But you can enrich as many data points as you want in these. So this is the final sheet in which we will receive the data. Now, the first tool, what it does is, let me just go ahead and test the workflow for you. Now, I'll tell you one by one how this entire workflow is built. Trigger, you all understand. The trigger is something that I have asked to start this. Now, the first node, which is the set how many leads to scrape, is basically the number that you have to define. How many leads do you want, or how many pages you want Google to go ahead and search. Once that is set, the loop will start where you are hitting an HTTP request to Google to search with a specific keyword. The keyword being, the keyword being coaches education Bangalore, and I have also, again, the keyword site is LinkedIn because I want LinkedIn profiles out of it. So let me just
correct me if I'm wrong. So this is the Google search. Typically, what people will put in the Google search, right? That's the command. All right.
Yes. So in this workflow, we are doing nothing but imagine that you are going on Google and you are this is exactly what you are doing in the workflow. The moment I search, because the linkedin.com/in, that it's a profile URL, it's there. So it has fetched all the URLs of the specific keyword that I have searched. This is exactly what you are doing in this particular workflow. Now, when you receive the output of this, it is in JSON. And so that is something that you cannot just go ahead and update it on your Google Sheet. So that's why a parsing is there which cleans up the data, and provides you in this particular format. And then it goes to the sheet. The enrichment is done. And again, if the enrichment, the number of scrapes that you have done here, right now for this particular example or webinar, I have done only one page scraping, which is 10 leads. It will check whether the loop is true or not. Let's say that if it's 10, then the loop will not be then the loop will not be false. It will be true, and the entire flow will keep on working. And that's how, with this particular flow, for free, you can generate around 1,000 leads every day. That's the capability, the API capabilities of Google search that you can hit in a day. So as you can see, I have enriched the data of 10 people with their LinkedIn IDs. Let me just quickly open it. All these LinkedIn IDs work. Now, how it's scraping? It's scraping with using a keyword. Now, this keyword, okay. This is the first workflow. The enrichment is done. Now, I have not gone ahead and again, for the obvious reason, because मेरे पास पैसा कम है, मैंने इसको execute, मतलब like I have not published it for showing you this example. But if I would have published it, all of this would have been into automation. I wouldn't have had to go in different workflows and show you how to do it, because the trigger is when the new row is added.
Now, very quickly, how long does it take for you to build a workflow like this? Like with the learning curve with NA10, if I start doing it today, and our team also figuring out to using this, how long would it take us, like a business user like us, a marketing guy, to probably learn this and set up something similar?
So when I did this, Aman, I did this in around 3 days.
Okay.
And I'm also coming from where
he's also very smart, Aman. So yeah.
No. I am also coming from the same background that you are coming, Aman, that I don't know what this is and how to do it. The same, from that understanding to building an entire, maybe not this complex, but a simpler workflow. I don't think that it will take you more than 3-4 days to understand, because NA10 is pretty simple.
Okay, and could you while you're sharing the post webinar assets, could you share where you learned it from, like any URL specific to NA10, like quick learners? So that should help.
So I will share you the URLs, but there is no specific URL which will help you to build this particular workflow. Now I'll tell you how I built this. It's simply, I went to Google Gemini, I asked that this is the use case. I want to build a particular workflow on NA10 and Gemini, or even for that fact, ChatGPT also can give you step by step or node by node understanding of what exactly you need to build.
Got it. And then you kind of replicated it on the interface here.
Yes. Replicate, and wherever you face problem or wherever you want key, this needs to be changed, that needs to be changed, that conversation that you need to have. And second problem that you will be facing, which I also faced, is understanding how parsing logic works. Now, again, as simple as that use ChatGPT, that would be helpful. In my case, I am not worried that much about the data privacy, but when it comes to companies like yours, there would be rules around it. So it's up to you to how to figure out.
All right. Okay. Thanks.
Yes. Now, the second workflow that we have basically enriches, it goes ahead and crawls the LinkedIn websites, LinkedIn URLs that are present here. And based on these data points, it will go ahead and enrich it. So it's working right now. Let me just quickly show it to you. So basically in my Google Sheet, the trigger is when a new row is added. See, the data population has started happening. So I have these 3 information or these 5 information basically. Now, these are 10 outputs that are coming together, right? And if you go ahead and put all the 10 outputs together, you will come across API failures from Google also and from any external tool that you are using. So it's extremely essential to loop things in that manner and add some weight around it. So for looping things, which basically means that this flow will take one lead at a time, enrich the data entirely, then come back to the second lead and start enriching data from that perspective, like one by one. So again, this is if logic, that if the lead is already enriched, basically if the data points are already present, skip that lead. If the data points are not present, go ahead and start filling it. That's exactly what's happening in this if logic. Then wait because of API call. Now, this is the main thing from which the data is coming. The data is being fetched. Now, this is an API call done to Relevance AI because, again, as I said, that Relevance AI is pretty easy when it comes to building the tool. So what's happening is that particular node or that particular node is hitting this particular tool to get the output. And the tool, just quickly show this to you. The reason why I have used Relevance AI tool is because it itself has inbuilt LinkedIn profile scraper. If you don't have access to it, you can use any other enrichment data and any other enrichment tool. But as compared to other tools and this, I find Relevance AI a bit easy because I know how to use it. And second, it costs less than what Apollo and everything costs. But again, when you are looking at this use case, you have to see whether for the volume that you are receiving, which would be more beneficial for you guys, and accordingly choose the enrichment tool that you have. My queries are pretty low as of now. So today, whatever I am running, I'm honestly running it for 2,000, 3,000 per month wala budget that I have for my tools and everything. But yeah, big companies have access to big tools and big money. So yeah, coming back, this is the output that we are getting. Then again, the same thing that it is coming in JSON. I have to go ahead and clean the data. So parsing and then going ahead and updating in the LinkedIn, in the Google Sheet. So you can see that the entire data is enriched with their company website, company profile, how many people are there, what industry and location they belong to, and company details that you need to have. Specifically, let's say that if you want people to do cold outreach, this is really helpful for people because then you don't have to go outside this setup. Now,
yeah, so it has the company information as well, right? Apart from the profile information.
Yes.
Okay.
So on your profile, in your experience section, you usually have your company details as well, right? You put your designation and all. It goes there, it hits the LinkedIn, it fetches the LinkedIn company URL, and with using the company URL, it fetches the website as well.
Yeah, so the way I look at it is, if you run this every day and if you automate it, then every single day you can generate 1,000 leads for your company.
Yes.
In this system, and you can even go to 10,000. If you expand on it. But this is
Definitely.
like almost like a free lead generation system that you have built for yourself, and you're creating your own database.
Say this is 100% free. It's not, to be very honest.
Okay.
What the only thing which is 100% free is scraping of Google URLs. Because when you go into LinkedIn restricts you from crawlers, like external crawlers. So you need to have their own API, or you need to have access to third-party tools like Phantom Buster or this to do the crawling. Instead of that, I'm for crawling, I am using Relevance AI tool.
Perfect. And for that, you're paying, right? To Relevance
For
AI.
Relevance AI, I am paying.
Okay, understood.
Very quickly, how is Relevance AI, like, what is the role here of Relevance AI while you're, how is it different from N8N? Like, what does it do?
So I'll show you why. So when you look at N8N workflows, let's say, just quickly add something here. Okay. I'll explain you verbally only. So when it comes to building tools in N8N, currently as much knowledge as I have, the tools comes inbuilt. When you need to build a new tool, it's a bit more complex than in N8N, and I have not built any tool because of the same reason. But when it comes to Relevance AI, building tools is extremely easy there.
Okay, so are you saying workflows? The whole workflow as in you? Okay.
No. So this is an entire workflow, right? But when
Correct.
it comes to enrich, but when it comes to enrich data, this is a tool that needs to be used
Correct.
to do the crawling.
Understood.
So now in N8N, the flow is pretty easy. But if I have to build the tool, which I'm currently using Relevance AI, but if I can't use Relevance AI, then it has pre-built tool for which you have to pay.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So
it's a plugged item within the
Yes.
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 So instead of Relevance AI, you could have used Apollo or Phantom Buster or any other tool for that matter. Is that
To
right?
be very honest, if you have Phantom Buster and everything, you don't require the workflow to begin with, because it will only do the lead generation for you as well. You can directly download. One thing better that in this workflow is when you download, at each workflow, the data is in a way checked. The URLs are in a way checked. So you don't get wrong URLs. You don't get mismatched data here. You don't get outdated data here as well, because it's directly fetching from Google.
Yeah, I'm using Apollo, and I know how expensive it is once you try to scale it.
Yes.
If it is small to 1,000 to 3,000 data, then possibly it doesn't really matter. But the moment you try to go to 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, then the price becomes too high.
I'm pretty sure that would be the same case in this workflow as well. But again, at this point of time, I have not used it heavily enough to give you a financial comparison of how it works. But currently, when I was using, let's say that as a start, Apollo has a free has a free version, but then you cannot download more than 10 or more than 50 leads, I guess, in a CSV format. So all that work around that you do in Apollo can just be replaced by a single workflow or a single thing that you do.
Yeah, perfect.
Right. So yeah, as I was saying, that this is where the entire enrichment is happening. And the entire workflow is executed. So this is how the entire data is done. And once it's enriched, it marks it done. Now, the most important and the biggest workflow in this particular flow is lead qualification. Now, how does lead qualification workflow works? Now, this is a plug and play workflow. You can directly populate your sheet with your Apollo data and whatever data that you have here, and then use this workflow, or you use the previous workflow that I have shown you right now and get the data populated and then use this particular workflow. Now, let me just quickly start this workflow. Now, giving you an understanding, again, the looping is something that you understand, that it goes one by one and scrapes the data for all that. But what exactly is this particular tool doing is, let's say you don't have you don't have these data points. You don't know what their company is about. You have just downloaded the data from Apollo or Phantom Buster and all, and you just are putting in it. So at this point of time, it's extremely important for the AI to understand, or for you to understand, whether they are the right people or the right leads for you or not. So what this tool does is, based on the data that you have, which is your company website and LinkedIn URL, it goes on your LinkedIn URL, it goes on your company's website, it creates a small summary of what your company does. No need to see the input. This is the small the output of website that has happened. So it's telling me what the website does. It's also telling me what the person does. Now, both of these go into this AI agent, which again, ignore all of this. These are again for parsing and for getting the data properly and all that. But anyway, what this tool does, it takes an input. Let me just quickly open this. Now, I've given an idea to the tool that what exactly deep marketing does. And then I have defined that based on the LinkedIn tool output and the website tool output, analyze and give it a score based on the logic that I have defined for my company.
It is very close to lead scoring in a traditional
Lead
CRM
scoring.
workflow model.
Yes, this is lead scoring because as you can see, it is assigning you the scores right now to the leads that have been. And based on these leads, you know which lead is a fit for you, where you should spend your time and where. And the another best thing is it also tells you why this particular lead is a good fit for you. So when you're talking or when you're designing campaigns, you have an understanding of who the person is that you are going to go ahead and do it. Now, this is
So I have a question here, Eila. When you say lead scoring, the tool is going through that and summarizing the company information, summarizing the profile information, and you have given certain type of commands that if it fulfills certain criteria, then this score will be given, right?
Yes.
How do you define that? Like, can you give a real use case example? For example, if the company has a revenue of this much and this, and then you give this, or the company belongs to Bangalore locally, then can you give us a quick synopsis on the decision making there?
Yes. So my logic is specifically based on the type of people that we work with, that I know that my services are going to really work for these people. So here, I only work with, as of now, I only work with coaches and edtech companies. So the first logic is if they do not belong to the edtech industry or education industry, they are not a good fit for me. That is the first logic. Let's say that I only work with Indian companies. Then my logic will also include the location of that company. Then let's say that I know that people who are with the team of only 2-3 don't have any money to invest in. So there is no point to going and having conversation with it. So another logic is, are they between 20 to 30 or whatever that sweet spot, that number is for you. Another thing that you can also see, which my agencies is when they crawl their website and when they crawl their LinkedIn URL or specifically website, what it tests is, do the people have, let me just quickly open and show it to you. This is LinkedIn data scraper, not this one. Research company tool. Yeah. So this is the tool. Jiska output is hitting the workflow. So these are the things that what kind of business they are, and do they appear to have digital products? Because middle of the funnel, you need to have digital products to go ahead and market these. Do they have a clear sales funnel? Do they highlight customer results? So these are few things that I have defined for myself. These are the people that I want to work with.
Well, this is amazing because I have, for my entire career, I've worked with Salesforce and HubSpot and other CRMs, even SAP is and others. And traditionally, the way salespeople, the SDRs, they used to work, and the business development people, they used to work is they used to do all of this manually, and they used to score, and then there was some level of automation as well. For example, if the person isn't responding to the email, then certain 5 points will be added, and if the size of the company is less than $10 million, then 5 points will be subtracted. So that kind of scoring system is generally there in most of the CRMs, the big ones at least, HubSpot and Salesforce and others. And I have worked with all of that. But the scope of that is very limited. And it also depends on how the users are behaving. What you have developed here is, it can just quickly go through the company and based on the input that the sales rep themselves has given, it will do the qualification for the sales rep, which otherwise I believe sales rep will have to spend, a few minutes.
Spend some time. And even if you use these CRMs, right, the logic is very hard coded. It doesn't have the nuanced understanding of what exactly the company is doing. But with AI, you have that reasoning as well. So
That's right.
today, when this tool is going and researching you, it's not just looking for this data points. It's not just looking for yes or true or false. Basically, it's also looking at other nuances. Do they have a digital product where they can build a community so that my deep marketing agency can actually work? And based on that, it is scoring the logic. It is
Right.
giving the lead score. Now, again, as you said, right, if a person has to go ahead and do this entire population, it will definitely take them one hour is what. But right now we have just speaking for last 10 minutes and the entire sheet is ready for you. So that's how the entire workflow is. And yeah, that's what I have built, and this is how it's helping me. Now, another thing that I wanted to tell you is, again, something that I told you at the last, right, that I wanted to show you the capabilities of AI agent to go ahead and develop reports for you. This is something that I was trying to build before this webinar, but I ran out of time, so I didn't do it. Otherwise, I would have shown this to you
I have a lot of
before.
questions.
Like I would have included.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions
Yeah,
on the flow itself.
let me just complete this one thing. So again, I'm not showing it to you directly, but this is something that you can also give your sales agent or directly go ahead and put it in the workflow with a logic that if the lead score is above 5, then generate this report for me to use it in the next flow that we have. Sorry, kahan gaya? Next flow that we have, because of this, what I'm going to show you. So this is a tool where you have to provide LinkedIn URL and website URL, and the agent will go ahead and create this customized report for you. So I did it for Vishal. Again, he's a coach. He is a direct customer or a very hot lead for me. So let's say that if my sales agent are getting on a call, imagine having them access to this kind of information, that what is his focus, what stage his company is, what is the core offering, based on the AI's understanding of that market and the data on his page and his website. What can be the common pain points, where these how can I turn these pain points into opportunities for me and go ahead and pitch my services there. Now, to do that, I also need to understand that how should I map deep marketing's value proposition to the pain points that Vishal is facing. So it also gives you that understanding, which basically tells you that as a middle of the funnel, I can pitch him email marketing, I can pitch him community building, I can pitch him post-sales customer journey. Then strategic talking points are also something that the agent will give you to give a little to build rapport with the particular lead that you have. And the best thing of this particular tool is something which is potential objection and counter responses. If you just go through it, you will get an understanding कि यार ये लोग तो बोल सकते हैं कि I'm already using an email marketing service, or I don't see value in building community. And if you just take some time and look at the type of answer the tool has given, it's very humane and it points to an emotional response that you have. So this is where your entire flow can end. Now, this pre-call report generator you can use to enrich your SDRs with this information. You can build another flow which takes all these and builds customized or personalized outreach plan, and so on. So the applications are limitless in this perspective. So yeah,
all right,
that's what I have built.
All right, that is so awesome. You just stick to the workflow, okay? Because I have a few questions. I'm pretty sure the other people will also pitch in, and if anybody wants to pitch in, please pitch in. I have been into the industry for 18 years, and I have worked as a sales enabler. I have worked as a product marketer. I have worked as a salesperson myself, many a times. So I know for sure that as a salesperson, the number one challenge for any salesperson is they have very limited amount of time, and they really don't know where they should put the effort and time to get the best result, right? Most of the sales people, they have a bunch of leads in front of them, right? Okay. And typically they will go one by one, and then they will spend X amount of time on every one of them, and then they will hope and see who is responding more, and then they will put more energy into that one, right? A system like this can basically save time on the front end, right? That means it can basically organize the lead on the most relevant, most effective, most which matches the most amount of criteria to match the ICP, and then they can go down, right? I think this application can be tremendous. The application of workflows like this will be tremendous, especially if you're a salesperson.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Just going through the company details and the profiles and the input and the output that is coming up. For example, many salespeople, they have a very simple question. Hey, my ICP means that they all need to be, CTOs of $10 million plus companies, plus the company needs to meet 25 other criteria, right? Only then that lead becomes a super qualified lead for me, right? And if they go through the process, it takes a long time to identify that, right? So an application like this can be tuned and fine-tuned more and more to get those information as quickly as possible to the salesperson. So the question I have is, how is this helping you? You being the sales rep, I mean, I don't know whether sales rep itself is the right term to use for you, but you have sales rep working under you, right, Eila?
No. So currently for the agency part, so you know that we have two wings, right? One is the education where we have the entire cohort-based ecosystem and all, and second is the deep marketing, which is the agency. So when it comes to agency, I am the sole person who is doing everything as of now when it comes to lead generation to getting on the first call and conversion. And specifically, so in that scenario, I am in B2B. And so basically, so what happened is I went to Vishal only and showed this particular flow to him, and he was very impressed on that front. That's when I realized that rather than using it as something to push myself, I will just use this as a product. And I'm seeing a lot of value, or a lot of, as you said, right, a lot of demand in the ecosystem. So that's how I'm using this workflow as of now. But to your original question, how it's helping is one thing. The first thing is I don't have to worry about lead population at all. I don't have to go to any other tools or block a time in my day to go ahead and do all of this. Otherwise, previously when I was doing outreach, at least 2 hours in my day used to go in lead finding, then qualification, then deciding what kind of outreach that it needs to happen. So maybe if we speak in 10-15 days more, you will see that in this particular workflow, I have also automated outreach also as well. So I'm working with voice agents as of now to do the first line of qualification. But again, it's going to take a bit more time, but that's the magic of it. When you start using AI, the automation can be limitless. And it will be limitless in that sense. So the second workflow that I'll be building is, again, the same logic that I told you, right? That the way that we are going to do outreach, we don't have cold callers. We have email outreach as our outreach funnel or system as of now. So if the lead score is above, let's say 5, then they will, based on their company's pain point, I'll also include this particular agent that I showed you with the call report in the workflow. Now, based on the report that is generated, write a very personalized mail or a sequence of mail and put them in the email campaigns that I have. So that's how the outreach is going to happen. Versus if you have a salesperson, give the call report generator AI agent to that salesperson, and every time they get on a call, they can just put it and get an understanding of it.
That's awesome, Eila. So I have a question here. I mean, this is a question that is coming up to me and all the time when I'm speaking to different people. One is the relevance, one is the personalization. Traditionally, in the industry, especially in the cold outreach industry, personalization was, people were putting a lot of effort in personalization. And unfortunately, the personalization for most of the companies, even that I have worked with in the past, is limited to hi first name, and then I know your company, bracket your company name is this, That is pretty much where 80 to 90% of the personalization ends when it comes to cold outreach. For many companies in B2B, especially for many years and decades till now. Only now, thankfully, it is changing, right? Okay. So I want to understand, there are two aspects. One is the relevance. What you have built here will give you the information to find the relevant lead, right? That's point number one. So you have given a preference of relevance more than personalization, correct? So the first step that you have devised here is how I can find relevant lead or the people who are relevant to my business or to the services that I provide. That's point number one. Then this information can feed towards the personalization. And that personalization can be more than hi first name and then bracket company name and likes. So I want to understand what's your thought. Like now that you have figured out a way of finding relevant information about the right kind of lead, how do you intend to use this relevant information and then use it for personalization when you are doing the outreach, whether it is cold outreach, LinkedIn outreach, voice calling? If you can give your thoughts in that. And this is an open conversation. Anybody who wants to pitch in, they can pitch in as well.
Yes. So in my use case, as I told you that my agency builds middle of the funnel. Now, to build middle of the funnel, you need to have a small ticket product or a free product, which then can use to warm, because middle of the funnel, you have to nurture those lead and takes you to a high ticket product. Now, so the first thing that I need to know that, okay.
I'm so sorry. This is for everybody who is joining in. Some of them, they will not understand what is middle of the funnel, what is lead magnet. If you can just explain that as well, I think that'll be great.
Cool. Yes. So so top of the funnel is where lead discover you. Someone like, let's say, for example, someone like Ritesh exists. Now, the way that they discover, the way that they'll discover Ritesh is maybe he's running ads, or maybe he's doing some personal branding, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever. Maybe he has a newsletter, or maybe he has an open community that some other person, like mouth publicity. These are the ways that you are discovering him. Now, once you discover Ritesh, which is top of the funnel, and you like what he is telling you or what he is teaching you, then you decide that maybe I want to join some of his low ticket programs, or maybe I want to join his community before committing for a bigger purchase, like a program from him or like a product from him. So the period between you thinking that I want to explore what Ritesh offers to buy it, that entire time is called middle of the funnel, where you warm the lead, where you nurture the lead, and you push them to buy that product without being salesy in nature. And that is where middle of the funnel, having a very strong middle of the funnel, is extremely important. And if you look at it from the education use case, that becomes way more important, that people should trust you when they're buying your programs and all. Otherwise, you will get into the scammy area, which is like a big no in education. So
I'm going to stop you here because this is such an interesting. I'm going to let you continue after this time. Being a B2B marketer, and I myself have committed this sin. From going top of the funnel to bottom of the funnel. I'll tell you why. For many years, like every other B2B marketer, I used to send a LinkedIn message using direct sales navigator and some other tool like Snovio and others, and then I say, hey, you know what, blah 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 blah. We do this. Do you want a 15 minutes consultation? I have done that myself. I'm a culprit myself. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have done that. So what you're saying here is, instead of doing that, they don't know you nothing, and then simply just drop a message saying, come down to 15 minutes consultation. Instead of asking them to come down to a demo call or something big, you create some sort of a step in between, right?
Yes.
For that they can take a lower step, a smaller step, and then they will be ready to take a bigger step. Right?
Exactly. You have nailed it perfectly, because see, the tools that have come here, or the capabilities that you have in your hand, is immense right now. So like if yesterday there were like 5 Ritesh competing, today it's 50. No doubt around it. And they are going to use the simplest outreach tools or methods available out there, which is something that you have explained right now. Then out of those 50 people, why should I work with you? That's where your personal branding or your awareness specifically will come into existence. Because if I've heard about Ritesh Osta 3-4 times before, and then now you come and have a conversation with me, I have a relativity factor with you, right? Because I have known about you. And this is where I feel that for automations, like specifically when I talk with a lot of people around me, right? They want to invest in biggest technology. They want to invest in complex ecosystem. They want to build, such hi-fi workflows and everything. And majority of them miss understanding how a human behaves or how human psychology works. I don't remember who said that. He's a big marketer, and I think Aman would be someone who would know this. But for a person, from a cold lead to become a purchaser of your service, they require at least 5 to 6 touch points in the journey. And if you're going to miss those touch points, it's going to be extremely difficult to go ahead and have this conversation. Now, even on cold call, if you just pick up the cold call and say that, hey, I'm from so and so company, I'm going ahead and selling this. Nobody is going to be on that call. All of you go ahead and cut when you get loan calls and credit calls because of this simple reason, because you know that you are not going to have that conversation. Versus, let's say that अगेन वेरी हाइपोथेटिकल सिनेरियो राइट, मे बी मेरे घर पे किसी का एक्सीडेंट हो गया और कोई तो भी इंश्योर मतलब लाइक हॉस्पिटल में कहीं ना कहीं से यू कैन फेच दीज इंफॉर्मेशन in terms of healthcare. No, actually that's a very wrong example that I'm going with. Just use it for example perspective. But let's say a person in insurance or maybe in healthcare industry gets to know that some of my family members have gone through some accident and all, and they give me a call saying that, hey, I want to check up on your mom. I got to know that this and this XYZ has happened. Oh, by the way, my company also helps you. Do you think that I can help you? You build more relation rather than pitching. So yeah, that's extremely important to do that. And this is where all these workflows will make your life easy, because now you don't have to sit behind the screen to know these things. An AI assistant can go ahead and do it for you.
Okay, so now the follow-up question on that: how do you see this relevant information? You using this relevant information that this is a qualified lead and this is the right kind of person, and it checks all the ticks that I have. Take this information, create a personalized email, and then ask them to take a micro next step, right? What you call as the middle of the funnel step, right? Not the bottom of the funnel, where they will go ahead and take a high ticket item or a service. So what's your thought process on that? Is there a process there in your head or something that you're already working on? I'll be very interested in knowing that.
Yes. So see, you know about lead magnets, right?
Yes.
Basically, lead magnets are those assets that you can use to generate leads or warm leads for yourself. Now, in my industry, which is education, there are a lot of lead magnets that I have created to build a stronger middle of the funnel, or how to manage middle of the funnel, or why middle of the funnel is important to begin with. Now, let's say that with this automation, with the company research and with the LinkedIn research, I get to know, again, the setting has been done in the AI agent prompts only. I get to know that they have a digital product, but their entire sales, the page that it has scrolled is very salesy. It gives you that kind of understanding as well. Or it notes that in the entire page, there is no subscribe to my newsletter or join my community kind of CTA. It's not present there. Now, all these relevant information, I am getting it. So rather than telling that, hey Shobha, I provide middle of the funnel services, I can go that, hey Shobha, I noticed that you have this particular product, but you don't have any community around it. Let me help you build that community. So that according to the pain points, my outreach would be very, very targeted. Where, let's say for the first email to Shobha can be that, do you know the conversion shoots by 10% when you have community around your product? That would be my first email. My second email would be with a lead magnet, which is like 10 checklist for building your community. Then maybe 2-3 emails of my testimonials of what my people have done, like what results my clients have gotten. And after that, I will start, hey, I want to get on a call with you. Would you like to speak to me?
That's an awesome use case. Then there's one more use case that is coming into my head is, the design agencies and designers, correct? And
Yes.
The CRO experts, they're always looking for startups and new companies who are trying to build, say a SaaS product website or a landing page, or, even a product app, So something that's coming to my head is, and which is something that I used to do it manually and it used to take forever, is find those startups founders, see whether they have the website and also the app. If they have the app, they don't have the website, then that's a use case. And also, if they have a website, then they possibly don't have a right kind of website, which should have all those things that a typical SaaS website should have, or a landing page should have, right? So a system like this can find all those SaaS founders or startup founders, find whether they have the website. If they don't have the website, that's good. That means they need to build a website. And if they have a website, then possibly they're not, following the right kind of design guidelines, right? And a design agency or designer can come into the picture and pitch for them. So then now that you have a relevant information, that means I have the right target audience and they have a real pain point, and I'm able to figure that out automatically. And then I can create a personalized outreach with that exact pain point. And the chances of that, being received on the other hand will be much higher, right? I actually tried doing that, all of this 5 years back. I was not able to do that. It was just too complex.
It becomes, if you're gonna depend on a human, it's way too complex. Like
Yes,
you will end up spending so much time behind one lead only कि आपका business कोई उठा के लेके
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So see, use cases, there would be limitations and constraints for different use cases, but at least now you have an opportunity to try. Even if the entire funnel can't be automated, here also a human should be in loop when you are when you are making it large scale. But at least it takes bits and pieces of the process and automates to make your life easier. So something that should really be looked into, because when you look at how AI is also progressing, right? So 2 years prior, when AI came into existence, the hype of AI was more from an individual perspective. Like as an individual, what can I do with AI? I can create content, I can create creatives and XYZ. But last year, with agents coming into picture, the entire AI is moved into how it can help businesses. And we are still in the forefront of the AI wave. So the people who incorporate AI from the start or from right now will be people who will be most beneficial of AI use cases 2 years down the line, because the entire system will be trained with their data. They have more adoption, because when I go out as of today, individual people really want to use AI, but the moment it turns to business owners to automating the entire process, they still have the hesitation whether they'll be able to do it or not. Now, the people who are in this hesitation will wait for the market to mature a bit and say that, okay, I have seen AI really giving results, so now I will take. But when that time will come, you will have hundreds of tools to do the same thing, which you can do it right away by yourself. Right. So this area, if you want to either incorporate AI into your agency or business, or you want to open an AI agency, which is basically my focus in coming few months, this is the best time to start.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's no better time than this. 2025 is the most exciting year, to be an agency owner or a freelancer, or, or to be a coder for that matter as well,
Yeah.
Super. If anybody has any questions, just pitch in. I thought this is going to be 45 minutes short, 30 minutes short. But I think if we continue this will go on for another 1 hour easily.
Yes.
So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to pitch in. This was such a fabulous session. I mean, I think with the upgrades of this workflow and with the additions that you're doing it, maybe you can come back again and show how this has progressed, and we'll be very interested, and maybe we can just make it as a part of a series,
Why not?
And then there'll be a progression of you. Okay, now, so Eila, so can you just give a little bit more about who you are, what your company does, and how you help your customers? If you can just quickly sum that up.
Yes, I'll do that, but I'll just quickly complete the flow that I had to show for the people. So this is basically how you can make the entire flow for yourself. Very few changes that you have to do, and if you are someone who is interested in doing those changes, I'll be able to help you out with that. But yeah, these are the things that you will need to get started with. You will need an N8N account. And the best thing about N8N is, for the first 15 days, it's a free trial with all the services open for you. So at least go and have fun. Explore N8N, explore workflows. There are so many YouTube videos where you can just directly download the workflow and see it in the working. But really use this 15 days, because dude, when I started using N8N, मेरा दिमाग ऐसा खुल गया कि what are the possibilities that I can actually make this simple work, मतलब like the simple tool do. But yeah, N8N, you will need that. You will also need an LLM basically for yourself, because you have to connect the API with the workflow. So I have OpenAI. I feel OpenAI is really good. But when it comes to real-time updates and all, Gemini performs better. So I've taken my husband's API key and I've used it. So use your friends and families to get the tools that you want. And yeah, baki all the details are pretty simple. Now, if you're someone who want to go ahead and build this particular setup for yourself, what I can do is I can provide you the Google Sheet templates. I can provide you the JSON for all the 3 workflows that I have. And I'll also provide you the prompts that I have built for the different other agents and all. So all you have to do is just quickly fill in this small form. And I hope this is okay, Ritesh.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay. So just quickly fill in this form. I will require your mail and number, mail, because again, this is a lead generation for me as well. And of course, if you want to see any other use cases for your particular business, because I'm looking for different use cases that I can build on. So you can just let me know here. And yeah, that's
yeah. I mean, this is also a great opportunity to be connected to Eila and her community, and she's not alone in this community, right? You are leading a community of micro startups.
Yes, I am the
go ahead and
community
talk. Yeah. So talk a little bit about that as well. About micro startup and how you help startups.
Yes. So I'll tell you how my life has panned down into where I have been. So I was, again, with 7, 8 years of experience, I was this startup girl who wanted to hustle, who wanted to, break all the ceilings and everything. And all I did was break myself because that hustle was too much. And I was going through some family emergencies as well. My mom wasn't well and everything. So like it became a lot. And I suddenly decided to quit in 2024 Jan. That बहुत हो गया, अब नहीं करना मुझे. And I quit on that high note that I'll build something for myself. And once I quit, and that every month that money stopped hitting the account, I'm like, oh, मैं बर्बाद हो गई, मेरे पास पैसे ही नहीं है. How will I survive? XYZ. And Deepak is basically an investor in my previous company, which is Growth School. So that's from at that time I met Deepak, and once he got to know that I have quit Growth School, he reached out to me that let's have a cup of coffee and let's decide what do you want to do. And I went to him and I ranted कि भाई मैंने सोचा था मैं फ्रीलांसिंग करूंगी, अब मुझे लोग चाहिए होंगे, अब पैसा कहाँ से आएगा, ये कहाँ से आएगा. And then I had a master class on mindset with Deepak. And that's where Deepak offered me this opportunity to join him in micro startup, because he also closed the entire business, the Learn Today, if you know about. And he started everything from scratch with micro startup. And I was like, okay. एक तो पहली बात, I got a person who is there to go ahead and tell me how to get thing about my startup was how it planned to operate. Deepak and I, in the last 1 year, rebuild the entire education system, education wing from the scratch. So micro freelancer program, the AI cohort that is going on, all of these are under my micro startup education wing. So there, what I do is I am the community manager for the batches, and in the back end, I am the operation and strategy person who designs the entire flow, designs the program and everything around it. Second wing is the deep marketing agency, which is again specifically for coaches, because Deepak and I know about that industry in and out as of now with the collective experience that we have. Him in terms of teaching, me in terms of building the entire backend, which includes how to market the program, how to develop user journeys, how to define the program outcome curriculum and everything around it. So, whatever we were doing in micro startup education wing, we realized that a lot of people in edtech require the same, what can I say, services around it, because edtech industry has become very impatient, I feel. They want results right away. So directly you will see an ad of 50,000 program, 1 lakh rupee program, or you will see an ad of a 99 webinar where you are getting pitched a 1 lakh program. That funnel doesn't make sense at all. And that's when we realized that, okay, let's go into the deep marketing funnel. So the funnel name, the funnel that I described you a few minutes prior, which is build the trust, have some touch points, then nudge them. That's a deep marketing funnel that we do. And that's exactly what we offer to coaches or any person who has a product where education is required. So look at luxury products or maybe art products and products like that. Now, once this is done and we understand what to deliver, how to deliver, then all of these will be automated, which will become our SaaS product.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, coming from a B2B enterprise industry, I understand the importance of it, and how I also understand how much this is neglected even in the large companies. So they don't take this very seriously, what you called as deep marketing and nurturing and educating, the leads in the long period of time. Most of the salespeople and the business owners, they're just focusing on the low-hanging fruits, right? They're not thinking long term. So I sincerely feel what you are teaching and what you are doing is going to can bring industry changes across different industries as well, not just the tech industry.
Thank you so much. Those are really, really kind words. That's how we also hope other people will perceive us.
Yeah, and I hope that one day I'll call your name absolutely perfectly the way you call, Eila. Thank you so much. We have come down to the end of the session. This was such a wonderful 1 hour session, and you just throw in everything. I sincerely feel whoever has joined, and then this webinar is going to be recorded and distributed in future as well. I'm going to put down that link in the YouTube and other places of the form. It was a wonderful, I think this is the beginning of something great that you are building in. And I'll be looking personally forward for you to come in and show the next step in your workflow.
Yes,
all right?
Definitely. I'll be very excited to share it with you. Keep me accountable if you are getting a series out of it.